This is the Loewe Credo 7631ZP. It is quite a beast of a television. The television sold in around the year 2000. This has its magic stand. TV's worth 5,500 Australian dollars and the stand's worth about 1,500. So we're looking at 7K. Widescreen 32-inch, slight curve. The colour scheme I think is Arctic Silver, although the receipt, I do have the invoice, suggests that it is the Stratos Metallic. Not totally sure, but perhaps it is a Stratos Metallic. A very nice glossy finish, piano shine finish with a nice sparkle in it. Very, very luxurious. And I think Loewe was really on top of their game by this time. I think they had some good years of sales and went really lavish with everything. So going down to the front, you'll see it says Loewe Systems on the front. I'll talk more about Loewe Systems later. It's a different class of television within their range, which incorporates surround sound and amplifiers for that total home cinema sort of package. We have a little system here that pops open. It like has a wind-up latch that catches it, and then it pops back open. S-video, composite video in, left and right stereo, headphone, the big 6.5mm power switch, standby on LEDs, and some basic buttons for control of the television. Pop that back together. Now for the stand here, sort of a groovy little contraption. There's cable over there on the left and cable over here on the right, and it winds up. Comes down as far as that. There's two levels inside. You can put your DVD player or your console or whatever. You can fit two things in. You can adjust this shelf, pull it in and out. It's very tight at the moment. Speaker grills, probably got a fairly hefty sound system in it. This stand, by the way, has a subwoofer built into it as well. And here's the front, here's the cable of the subwoofer here. I'll show you a bit more of that when we go around the back. Pop that close again. Right now it has all its back covers on. What do you mean? What do you mean back covers? Well, it's a very sleek unit. Very sleek unit that's blending into the lounge or wanting to hide all the cables and make it look neat and tidy. So you can see it's got its covers on. You'll know what I mean when I take them off. So we can take the bottom one off. Now you can get to the back of whatever you've got, consoles, DVD, VHS, and again, take that bottom one off. Then we got the model number for the stand, Credo Stand 81, Loewe Systems. There's a little white knob there. Just there, that's the subwoofer volume level. We have the power lead for the subwoofer, we have the power lead for the television, and we have the subwoofer cable. This plugs into the back of the television. Now, what I think is meant to be right here is a little power board. So you plug all your appliances into the little power board, and then you only have one lead that goes to the wall to power the power board that powers everything else. However, I've got to speculate there's not an actual Australian version of this power board, and it didn't come with one. So if anyone knows any better, let us know in the comments. We'll pull that panel off here. This will reveal the special area that we want to get into, and that's our connections. So there's our label, Loewe Credo 7681ZP, 100 Hz, full picture in picture, AC3, chassis type 110Q24, Dolby Digital. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And there's our connections, the big triple SCART, probably a sound output, RCA, subwoofer, left and right audio, digital audio in and out. That's where the subwoofer cable plugs in. Now, apparently if there's nothing connected into that, the TV will have no sound coming out, and by default it has a little Molex plug with a loop back cable, which I've got in a separate box. So if I didn't want to use a subwoofer in the stand, I'd plug it back in so I could hear the television's sound itself. Audio out left and right. Now this thing is equipped with the VGA kit, proper Loewe VGA kit, the VGA input socket, the audio in for the VGA kit, antenna, even more cutouts for more things. So a very expandable chassis indeed. VGA will be the key, but apparently with the SCARTs, SCART 1 is composite, SCART 2 is RGB, and SCART 3 is component. So a very wide spectrum of signals can go into the Loewe here. So this is going to be a big video because there's a lot to cover. With the television off the stand, we can see the cabling management that goes on inside. Cables come in over the lip and can be clipped into either the left side or the right side, where they travel down into the cavities to go down into the lower levels. The TV actually sits on 3 legs, whether it's on a bench or whether it's on the stand, and there's the back cavity for the big leg at the back, and then there's a pair of fitting points to keep the television stabilised. The subwoofer cable actually comes out of that side. If you're around the front, it would be on the right side, but here it's the left. Your subwoofer cable is on that left cabinet. We are inside. There's only 5 screws holding the cover on around the chassis and a couple of clips up top. Yeah, there's one of the clips and there's the other one. Fairly robust. They're made of plastic, but they are quite big, robust. There's our Credo sticker on the tube. There's the tube sticker itself. W76 ESF031X44, made in Germany. It's proper made in Germany affair. Moving down to our chassis, and we have the VGA card immediately in front of us. That's the little fella there, that little green one there. It's not a lot to it, a few little cables coming out of it. Plug it into various spots. I still can't see the speakers. The base on this thing's quite thick. It's very heavy. We've got quite a heavy television, excluding the stand. Just the TV itself is quite heavy, and we get a better idea of that leg at the back. There's that column, circular, cylindrical leg that I was talking about that plugs into the back of the stand, or just sits in it, more to the point, rather than plugs in. So everything's as expected inside the Loewe. Big, thick bass. Can't look at the speakers, unfortunately. We can certainly listen to them in a moment. This black box on the left contains the manual, the invoice and other paperwork, catalogues and so forth. The box on the right is the VGA kit. Really, there's a huge amount of paperwork in here. There's a catalogue, then there's several copies of the instructions underneath in various languages. Chassis schematic, warranty, correction card of some sort. Checking, look at this, Australian power plug fitted, visual check for unit defects, warranties on television, VCR, VGA card, 1-year warranty. This is the Loewe Systems catalogue, Loewe Systems, and what it's really about is summarised in this picture quite well. So there's the Credo on its stand. Then there's this Loewe sound system. Can't remember the name of that, but that's the big one with the 3 units and the speakers. So that's what they mean by Loewe system, complete audio and visual sound system. There's also the Loewe Ergo, which might be that one with the speakers visible on the front in the graphite colour. Loewe amplifier, Loewe speakers. It'd be nice to have all that and have the complete set. We don't have that privilege right now. Lovely stuff from Loewe. Actually, at the front, it's getting off CRT, but this is when we get into the panel technology with the Loewe Spheros. Pretty sure that's an LCD. That's the start of it, their first LCD TV, and the downfall of CRT, unfortunately, from our point of view. I've got the invoice in front of us. I've covered up the previous owner's details, keep that private. You can see the pricing here. The Credo itself, Loewe TV, is $5,449. You can see Stratos mentioned there. I think Stratos is in reference to the colour. Credo stand in the Stratos colour, $1,100. Toshiba DVD player. Now I don't have that, it's nothing to do with this right now. Q2400 chassis VGA kit plus install, $150. That was about the going rate back in the day, and thank God the owner got that, because that's where the true strength of the TV is, and one SCART to component lead probably was a chuck in. And you're looking at $7.5 grand for all that. And this is in the year 2000. This here is part of VGA kit. VGA 8780850 Media Plus. It's in various languages. We can jump forward to get to the VGA, the English version of it. You can see the actual card. You can see where it goes in. You've got to hook up some cables, photograph of it. Just a few more instructions for setting it. Activate VGA operation and so forth. Now this infrared cable, I've got it. I hope I haven't lost it because I can't see it right now. I want to experiment and see what this exactly does, this infrared cable antenna operation. A little bit of a mystery to me, so hopefully it'll turn up somewhere. Continuing on with the VGA kit, it's quite a bit in this box. It does have a part number as well. See VGA, proper box. Look at this. Proper Loewe disc. Bag. Stay. An RF coaxial cable just to piggyback. Now there's the VGA cable. And the heads on it are right angled, somewhat, almost. Proper Loewe, huh? These two things here, they're not part of the kit. They actually belong to the television. You put these on the front bottom of the television where I mentioned before about the stands. When the TV's not on the matching stand, it needs to have these plugged into the bottom to stay upright or to stay properly balanced. It'll probably lean a little bit forward if you don't put these two on, so I'm glad they are present with it. Headphone to headphone cable. Now there's the little Molex plug I was talking about before that must be plugged into the TV if you're not using the subwoofer, if you want to get sound out of the TV itself. Anti-static bag for the VGA card that is already installed. Some photocopied instructions for the disc, actually, for that disc that you saw before. I think that's just going to be like a bit of a test pattern of sorts, really. Windows 95 setup procedure. And then there's a little note with some private details on the back, which I won't show. Bit of foam in the bottom and cable clip management. The remote on the left is the Loewe Control 10. That is the correct remote that belongs with the Credo, part of the Loewe system. It has an LCD at the top. You can toggle between videotape recorder, DVD and TV. Very similar to the remote on the right. The one on the right is the standard Loewe remote of the time. Really all this one here today it's got the LCD as an extra. I wonder if the other remotes work as well. I might try that, but as it is, that's the remote. And it runs on two AAA batteries, as you can see. These are the following systems that I'll display on the Credo today. The NTSC Sega Saturn, Super Famicom, of course that's NTSC. The Xbox 360 via VGA, that'll be great to see that back in action. My old 360 died, so I had to mod this one with the reset glitch hack. So I could put all the old games that I'd lost, Outrun 2, After Burner Climax, Radiant Silvergun and others, those games you can't get anymore by official means. So I've modded the Xbox 360 and got those games on it. We'll play that in VGA because the VGA is outstanding on the 360. PS2, which will be via component. The NES, a PAL one for a light gun test. And then something that I don't often show on the channel is a PC. That's a 486. It's a later end 486, might be 120 megahertz. And I'm pretty sure I've got Windows 95 already installed on that, so we'll check out that Loewe disc and we might look. Let me tell you, it's been quite a mission. The bad news is I can't get any sound out of the TV. I found a broken off headphone jack stuck in the front, removed what I could. Absolute mission to clear that out. I'd have to strip down the TV completely from inside to get that PCB out to work on it. Despite that, the TV should still have sound coming out of its own speakers. It can come out of the headphone port and it can come out of the speakers at the same time. So for whatever reason, we're not getting sound out of the subwoofer. I'm bypassing it with a pair of PC speakers, completely bypassing the TV, just to give us some sound in the background to make it sound, make it look, make it appear normal. TV was making a lot of electronic sound internally. It's cleared up a bit now. Picture disappeared for a moment initially when I powered it up, but it's behaving for now. It could turn off at any time, so we'll get what we can. Got the NES hooked up in the front, composite jacks on the front. You give the cables a wiggle, picture drops out, so the solder joints are broken on those sockets at the front again. Same PCB as a headphone jack, big job to get it out and solder them up, so don't have the time for that now. We're going to make this video. What you can do is, it's in 4x3. We can go to 16x9. It's not, I like how it morphs into it like that. Panoramic, cinema, and then zoom, which is the biggest of all. We'll go for 4x3. Loewe, extensive menu system. Bit confusing, the old German systems, but what do? You just got to go with it. Picture, all the standard stuff. Then we have all these extra processing effects. I guess I've turned them on and off and played Mario prior to recording it, and I didn't see any differences with them on and off. Strange. We'll see how we go through the SCART socket with that sort of thing. Rotation. Evident what that does. Righto, let's just start the game. Let's get out of this menu. Again, our sound is bypassing the TV altogether. Picture's shuddering a lot, shimmering a lot when moving. 100 Hz processing, rearing its ugly head. And I don't seem to be able to alter it at all with any of those picture modes, aforementioned ones. What I'll do next is put on Duck Hunt so we can test the gun out. Obviously that won't work, but that needs to be confirmed. It needs to be actually a witness so we know with absolute certainty. Oh, yeah, no. Oof, no shots registered at all. Usually you get 1 or 2 every now and then. I am a little bit far from the TV, but whoa, no, I'm not registering anything. We'll give it another go. One more. Oh, it got the wrong duck. Yeah, one more. No, no good. Sega Saturn is hooked up this time. If you're having trouble with a signal that's appearing in black and white, which the Saturn could, because it's in S-Video, it's NTSC, what you need to do is go into Settings, AV Connections, Manual Adjustment of AV Standard, go down to your input, which is on the front in this case, AVS as they've called it, probably for S-Video. Automatic, that's where you'd have it 100% of the time. However, if it's on another setting like PAL, this is what will happen. It's in black and white and the picture's rolling in an artifact sort of way, that reminiscent of the old days hooking up your imported console on your PAL television. So we go back through where we were and then put it on automatic and we'll be good to go again back in colour. Let's have a quick go of 0-3 while it's on. I've got the sharpness up to 1. It was on 0 with the NES. I've put it up to 1. Just moved it up 1 notch to make it a little bit sharper. We are only in S-Video anyway. We'll go into RGB next.
It all depends on your skill. Go for
I can't for the life of me remember how you throw on this game. Isn't that forward and a punch and a kick together or something like that? Oh, it's very rusty. Anyway, you get the idea. It showcases the Saturn and S-Video on this television. This time around we have the Super Famicom hooked up in SCART socket 2 via RGB, and you can start to see some of the brilliance of the television Colours look good, clarity's good, brightness is good. Although the artifacts are rearing their ugly head. You can sometimes see the letter L in the world word bleed out to the left, particularly when it goes over a white background like it just did. You also see a bit of shimmering on some of the background edges on the objects. I could point them out a bit more closely, but take my word for it. I found on the remote a button you can press to get main information. We can see the technical spec of the TV set, the chassis, the software version. Also, this index is quite handy. It's like a glossary of terms about the television. If we go to D, yeah, there we are. So DMI plus digital motion interpolation, there's our processing. Both DMM and DMI reduce the poor focus of quickly moving objects or rolling texts. DNC digital noise reduction, well, every TV's got that, but as we saw before, I could change the DMI and it didn't seem to do much, but you're always left with some artifacts from 100Hz processing on 240p content anyway. Onto the PS2 now, hooked up via component into SCART socket 3 of the television. As usual, I'll start on Monsterland. I believe we are in 480i by default. Alright, so that looks okay. It's a little bit flickery, but you expect that on 480i. Nothing abnormal. Yeah, 480i, we'll go to 240p. That looks pretty fine, looks pretty good. And then we'll go to 480p, which I don't think it'll do. I don't think there's 480p progressive over the SCARTs. VGA, different story, but here, I don't think so. No. So that's no go there on 480p via SCART. Dreamcast is finally hooked up via VGA. The first thing I want to do is show you when you go into the menu system that VGA geometry appears. This is a option, a menu that is exclusive to the VGA mode of the television. Should be in all televisions, the ability to do this. So it's basic geometry settings. I've filled the picture out. I don't think you can toggle between 4x3, 16x9 and the other formats. I think you just really stuck with what you got. So I could theoretically shrink the picture right in and try and create a 4x3 aspect ratio to suit the Dreamcast. I know there's some games that support widescreen, but it's not the standard for the Dreamcast. So you can see you've got a few different ones. We can shift it horizontally, we can stretch it. Picture vertical, some vertical movement. And then the size, squash it down. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trapezoid. I might just leave it. I'd almost get a tape measure out and measure the aspect ratio, try and create a picture that's 4 wide and 3 high. So say if it was 100 centimeters wide, it'd be 75 centimeters tall. But I don't want to bore you with that too much. I'll just perfect it as much as I can off camera. I've abandoned the idea of trying to make a 4x3. It was more like 5x3, so I'll go with widescreen instead. while we're on the Dreamcast, it only makes sense that we test out 240p test suite. How's that? It's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty square and fits pretty well. A little bit of new generation, still on the Dreamcast.
Round one, fight.
Righto. Moving on to PC now. I'm going to turn the PC on here at We're Up. Hey, look at this. (133 megahertz). Oh, it's got 98 on it. I was thinking I had 95 on this computer, but that will do still. What I like about these Loewes with the VGA mode is that they actually just look like a bigger PC monitor. It's pretty much how you would expect it to look. Maybe not as sharp as a little PC monitor, but colours and the look of it, it's just a big PC monitor. So I'm going to put the disc in. Let's hope the disc actually works. I've put it in the floppy drive. The light on the floppy drive's glowing. Come on. Just go into it, don't be difficult. Oh, yes. Test build. B-I-L-D, the German spelling of build, I feel. All right, well, we'll see what happens when we double click on this. I've never done this before. I don't know what to expect. Oh, get out. Classic. Classic. I'll try the other one. Of course this would happen on a computer on Windows. Oh, look what... Oh man, I'm not bothering to try and get this disc working. Anyway, at least you get to see Windows 95 or 98 desktop in action. This is really what the television was meant for with the VGA mode, to hook up a PC to it. Wouldn't be too bad running Doom or something like that, would it, right now? However, I'm going to move on to the Xbox 360. That'll be the final showcase, and that'll push the TV a bit, because you're going to have widescreen, native widescreen, Xbox 360 VGA with somewhat modern graphics on it. So it'll be good. It'll be good to see. Finally, on the Xbox 360, adjusting the resolution. So we're at 640 by 480. 848 by 480 is probably where we want to be. That does work. Let's try some more. Nope. Hopefully we don't blow the TV up in the meantime. Nope. Nope. Oh. I didn't mean to do that. No. Just get it back to widescreen as our default one. Where were we? I think we're down here somewhere. Nope. 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 Oh, I thought I'd almost lost it then. 1080p, eh? Yeah. No, not going to work on that one. Oh, yeah. So 848 by 480 and 640 by 480. I've got a feeling these things can do a higher resolution, but it's a bit fussy on what you put it on. I think that's more the domain of the PC. I'll showcase a few 360 games, pass a few comments, then conclude the video. It's looking quite nice, isn't it? something with a very detailed graphics with the clarity of the Loewe. Shit.
F50, automatic transmission, outrun mode, flash wave. Get ready.
I should say I have tested the other remote, the second remote, not the one that's the proper one for the TV, but the other one. It also works no problem, so you don't have to have the Loewe system remote exactly to operate one of these Loewe systems televisions. Another interesting fact about the Credo we're looking at today is that the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, they're a body, a watchdog that protects consumers against, make sure you get warranty on your products and so forth. They had a product recall, I think in 2007, for several Loewe 100 Hz models from around 1999-2000. You can see the list of models on screen that were recalled, including the Credo here today, the 7681. The reason was for bad solder joints that could potentially cause a fire. So there you have it. Ring up this number and they'll tell you what to do. Nah, look, if your Loewe is still working now, good luck to you. Hopefully it keeps going. Not the most reliable brand, but this one got us through today, right through to the end of the review, so I'm happy about that. Daytona USA looking mighty fine on screen now, sounding mighty fine, not through the TV but through the PC speakers. So overall, if you want a TV like this, if you want a Loewe 100 Hz model, you have to go with the VGA option. You have to get a card installed, run everything through it, your VGA consoles, run your scaler, your line doublers, or whatever it takes to get your console into the VGA part of the television, and that is definitely the best way you can view your content. You don't want to go 240p through SCART. Even though it's RGB, it still doesn't look right. It's not classic 240p, so stick with VGA. Loewe, doing us proud. Good old Loewe, good brand. I hope you've enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more to come. Thank you very much.